Howdy friends and neighbors, old Doc here, and I haven't got much done on the Bobcat other than that leaky carburetor. Like I said, there's no numbers on it. It's an aftermarket deal, and so, you know, I don't know how a guy's ever going to find parts for it, but I took the bowl off, set the float a half dozen times, and it kept flooding out, and the float wasn't shutting the gas off, or the needle on the float wasn't shutting the gas off. Finally, I took some of that metal polish that's made for jewelry. It looks like a cotton in a can, but it's impregnated with something. I took some of that, pinched off little pieces, stuck it down. I pulled the float and the needle off, stuck it down there in the hole where the float needle goes. Put a drill on a Q-tip swab and stuck it in there and spun it around, and it came out black. I mean, I did that probably 50 times, and then it looked like a mirror inside there, and instead of coming out black, it was coming out kind of a grayish looking. So I stuck it back together, set the float again, and now the carburetor doesn't overflow anymore. I don't have the fuel line here hooked up to the pump. I don't know how much pressure that pump is, that electronic pump is putting out. And there is a regulator on it. It looks like it's set at 1, I'm not sure, but there's no gas in the tank here. But before I hook the fuel line back up to that electric pump, I'm going to hold my thumb over the end and make sure it's not just going to push past that needle and seat again and keep causing issues. If it is, I'll have to come up with a different, maybe I'll mount a tank up here on top or something. You know, I mean, both sides of this is fuel tank. I don't need that much gas in this little engine. You know what I mean? I'm not going to run it for a month straight. So, with that being said, you may be asking yourselves, well, Doc, does it run? Well, let me get you set up here, and hopefully you don't fall or vibrate off. I gotta find a place to park you. Maybe I'll just try to hold on to you. Anyway, does it run? Well, does Howdy Doody have wooden balls? Yes, it runs. Now, the issue being, let me see if I can get you in here where you can see. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I'm trying to make this quick as possible. I don't like making hour-long videos. Okay, this is the drive sheave. That is supposed to turn when the engine's running. It doesn't turn, and the reason being, there is a bolt inside there. I have to take this, let me back up, this plate off, take the hydraulic line off, and there is a Jesus clip, snap ring in there. Take that snap ring out, take this whole assembly off. There's a bolt that goes through there, all that on the inside, and it bolts that drive sheave to the crankshaft. Either that bolt's broke, missing, the threads are stripped out, whatever. But that bolt is supposed to hold that drive sheave to the crankshaft. So when the engine's running, that drive sheave should be turning. Okay, and then your hydraulics, your high and low speed lever here, that runs your hydraulic line on your drive sheave and collapses that, much like the drive sheave on a snowmobile. It will push that in and bring your belt up higher there, and your machine will run faster. So being that drive sheave isn't turning, we got to take this all apart and get in, see if that bolt's missing, stripped, falling out, whatever. But that is our reason for, or our issue for not moving. The arms go right up and down, no issues there. The bucket rams go in and out as they should. And I went up, picked up this bucket. Well, my friend John and I, we went up to Cherokee, Iowa last weekend and picked up this bucket for it. More than likely, I'm gonna narrow it up to where it's only maybe a couple inches wider than the tires here. I don't know yet. For moving snow, that'd probably, you know, that width of a bucket would probably be all right. I don't know. We'll see. We're not even that close yet. But it does, the arms go right up and down. The rams go in and out. And if you see the Lovejoy coupler there, you can see that the love is about gone out of it. So we'll get to that in the future with a replacement. So anyway, like I said, I don't want to make this video too damn long. I'm going to cut in and out. It may even be a few days, you know, of me videoing and editing to narrow this up. But that plate's got to come off. Hopefully I don't have to take that tire off. If I do, it's not that big of a deal, but I just soon not, to get to that drive sheave. So I'll bring you back then. Okay, that didn't take long. 2 1/2-inch bolts, one down at the bottom, one at the top, and they're covered with oil, so it's not like they were froze on. Looks like their hose protector kind of slid there. See, this is made to swivel as this thing spins, and they claim do not break this because they're very expensive. I know the drive sheaves, if you find an old crappy one on eBay, they want like 600 bucks for it. That's not going to happen. I mean, if everything, there's a plunger in there, which maybe I'll show you later, that goes back and forth as you put hydraulic pressure to it to close that sheave, make it go faster. If it looks like it just needs new O-rings in it on the piston part, I'll do that. They're like 50 bucks for a set. And if it doesn't work, then I'll probably go in there and maybe do some welding inside that sheave, so it's going to be a set speed. The only variable speed you'll have on it that way is with the throttle, which, I mean, I'm not doing any road work or anything like that with it, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But I just soon have it running right as it can be. So yeah, they say do not break this thing, or see that sheave just, it slides in it. That something ain't right. That bolt's gone in there or something. I'm going to take this hose off. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm going to get this hose off and I'm going to do it with 2 hands, and hopefully I don't break it. If I do, I'll show it to you after the fact. If I get it off, I'll show that also, so hold on. Well, that so far was very anticlimactic. The swivel that was not attached on that end, the swivel was up here on the, where's my finger? There we go. I'm looking in the sun here. The swivel was on this end, and this is the variable speed controller. So I had to take it off on this end. They had a pipe clamp. Where's my finger? I got sweat dripping my glasses. Lovely. I love glasses. Yeah. The hose came through there, and then they had the hose clamp holding that on. So I had to undo all that, pull the hose out to get it straight. And like I suspected, there's nothing holding this onto the shaft. Now I'm gonna have to pull the tire off, put a jack and some blocks under there, jack it up, pull the tire off in order to get that variable speed out. So hold on to your grannies. Okay, now Matthew got off work, so he's home. He's gonna run the camera for me, and I got the tire pulled off, and it's like setting the float and what have you on that carburetor. I mean, you've seen it a million times. I'm not gonna waste time showing it. We got the tire off. Now we're gonna pull the drive sheave off, and we're all gonna see what the hell the deal is together. So maybe I'm hung up on something. Huh. Well, oh, the belt. Shit. I put a piece of conveyor belt in there to keep the hydraulic oil from running down on the drive belt. And from here, it looks like the drive belt sticking off. We'll bring you back here in just a minute. All right, Matthew got it off for me. So let's pull this dude. I'm kind of not digging what I'm seeing. There's the inside. Can you see that? Yep. Okay. All right. So I believe the set screws let loose or broke or came out, whatever. And there's the head of the bolt. Let me get my rag so I can hand me that rag behind you, Matthew. You guys don't tell Penny I'm using my good shirt for a grease rag. She'll kick the banana butter right out of me. Okay, let's see what we got inside here. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Some asshat was in here. They put a machine bolt in there. That's not supposed to be a machine bolt. Trust me. So I'm going to get some vice grips, try to get that screwed out of there, and we'll go from there. Okay, Matthew got it pried off of there. What we have is failure to communicate. Set screws are missing. There's supposed to be a set screw here holding the key in place. There's supposed to be a set screw going from the inside the sheave here into that dimplet. And then there's supposed to be another set screw that runs through the sheave all the way into here to the shaft. Not a set screw in sight. Whether they fell out, somebody took them out and didn't put them back in, I don't know. I also know that, oh, somebody did cut slot in there. I'm sorry, Matthew. This was in there finger tight. This is not supposed to be a machine bolt that holds the sheave into the shaft back here. It's not supposed. It's supposed to be a regular bolt. And I got to take the whole sheave. Oh, good God, a Gertie. I got to take this whole thing apart. There's one of the set screws. That doesn't go all the way through. But anyway, I got to take this whole thing apart, check the O-rings and stuff while I got it apart, make sure they're good, and separate these two pieces. And because this collar goes on first with the set screw, you tighten the set screw up. The set screw is supposed to be flush when it's tight on the shaft. Then you put this piece right here on, and it's splined almost like the axle on a 2-cylinder John Deere that's splined inside there. That goes on. Then the bolt goes in, holds this inner section of the drive sheave inside the shaft. Then your outer piece goes on. There's 2 snap rings and bolt or nut that hold this outer section on. So far, we're not looking at anything devastating. I don't know why somebody would have put this together without the set screws, or I mean the set screws, somebody had to leave them out, or you would see signs of them, you know, being ground into here or the sheave, something. I don't know what their reasoning was. Anyway, I think I'm going to cut it off here because I don't want this video to get too long. This is Bobcat 444. Judging by the engine in it and the size and everything, I haven't looked up the serial number yet. I don't know what year it is, but I think it's going to be a pretty good, easy fix. So I know it looks like hell, but for the money, and it was close to home, we got it running good. Yeah, it's a greasy mess. What old Bobcat isn't? So stay tuned if you want to see more videos on the 444 Bobcat. We got new subscribers. Go and check out Old Iron Finder. I believe he's down in the Waco, Texas area. He's working on a Mighty Mac skid steer that he bought, I believe, at an auction or something with some other equipment, and it had issues, and he just got it going. He's got a good channel. Doesn't have very many subscribers. I believe he's got more than what I have, but he's got a good channel. He works on square body Chevy pickups, so if you're into that, go check him out. He's got all kinds of things. He fixes stuff like this up and sells it. Got a good channel. Go check him out. Check out Shane Holst, our friend up in Minnesota, Ed Goslin, and I believe Ed and his daughters just got done with their hay. And so anyway, thanks to all the new subscribers. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. I have a positive, negative, you're doing this wrong, I don't give a rat's ass. Put it on there, I don't care. But leave a comment. I like it. I like the comments. I don't care, you know, if you give me a ration of shit, that's fine as frog's hair too. We don't care. We're just here to do, I mean, this isn't a how to do it thing. I'm just showing you what we're running into. I got manuals for this and stuff, so I kind of get an idea of what's going on. But we enjoy doing this. And I think this is going to be a good and a handy piece of equipment to have around here for moving snow or whatever. I mean, you're not gonna dig a basement for a house or anything like that with it. We knew that going into it, and I don't need anything like that. So with that, friends and neighbors, we're gonna cut it off, and we'll bring you back with more video later. Not today, maybe this weekend or something, or next weekend. We've been, everybody here, we've just been busier than, you know, an ugly stripper. We've just been at it. So with that, happy trails. Be kind to one another, be kind to yourself. Doesn't cost you anything to say please or thank you or hold the door for somebody. So happy trails.